Hello everybody, hope you're all doing well. Thank you very much for tuning in here. I just wanted to jump on and kind of tell you guys a story. Normally when I make these kind of videos, my videos tend to have a bit of a thesis or an argument or something like that. But honestly, today I just wanted to jump on and share the story because it's an awesome story and I'm so grateful that I got to experience it and I just wanted to share it with you guys. So here we go. Basically, what happened is not too long ago, someone came in, one of my customers came in, maybe one of you guys, if you're watching, came in and was getting getting some fish food and like a couple other bits and pieces, just like, calling in kind of thing. And it was a guy who maybe like 6 to 9 months ago, somewhere in that kind of range, came in with his kid and bought a 3 foot, 150-ish liter, 40-ish gallon aquarium and put like some platies, some tetras, some bristle noses, like nothing crazy, a lot of like very beginner type fish, and put those all in kind of just to have fun with this little kid. Um, it's very much what I like to kind of describe as a family hobbyist rather than like a beginner hobbyist. There's no sort of like seriousness or aim or like the kind of person like doesn't even know what their fish are called. It's just like that's Fred, that's Claire, whatever. Um, but yeah, they came in, maybe 6 to 9 months ago and bought all these very colourful, easy beginner type aquarium fish like platies and tetras and guppies and all this kind of thing. So yeah, he called in just not too long ago and just stopped off and like a lot of you guys do when you're in, you're not just in and out buying stuff, you're in having a yarn in that, which is fantastic. That's another reason I love my job. But yeah, we were just standing around talking about his tank and that, and he said something that really like almost kind of like physically knocked me off my feet. But what happened is he said, "Oh, maybe 2-3 days ago, something like that, I lost my first fish." And I was like, "What? What happened?" And he's like, "Yeah, I lost my first fish." And it took me a second to kind of like process what he said. And he's like, "Yeah, I had my first death in the tank." And I was like, "Really? Like, you just had your first death?" And he's like, "Yeah, yeah." And what had happened was, it was one of these fish had just, when you're dealing with all these tiny little fish, one of them had just keeled over. I can't remember what it was. It was, I think it was some kind of tetra or something. And this was the first fish it had died all that time. And I was like, I could very easily tell the customer didn't understand the impact of what he was saying had on me. And I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah." And the conversation went on. I started talking about, I can't remember, plants or something else. But I was just sitting there after he left, like rang him up and said goodbye to him, and then did all this other stuff. And then I was like just standing there, just now, filling up another tank, and I was just thinking, and I was like, this guy with this little kid has been keeping fish for 6-9 months, and he's not had a single death. Like when I first started with my dad, when I was like this age of this little kid, like maybe 6 to 8 kind of age, heaps of fish died getting the tank cycled rather. When I first set up on my own with my first little guppy tank, that was kind of serious. Heaps of fish died because I didn't know what I was doing. I've been through heaps of bad fish, bad quality fish, not knowing what to do with water quality and that. But this guy had gone 6 to 9 months, no dramas at all. Fed the fish, given them their treats, cleaned the tank, all this stuff, no dramas at all. Happy as just getting to enjoy the fish because I have to say this because this is truly what I believe. It is gonna sound horrific, but it is what I think. But because he got set up on the right path, because I was able to help him, I do truly believe that I give advice the same as what I would give to other people, what I would do to myself rather. So like this customer, for example, there was no stability or anything like any of that junk that doesn't work. There was simply oh yeah, take the tank home, set it all up, come back, get some cycled media, and like I filled his filter. I can't remember what it was. It might have been an internal filter, maybe. Filled it with some cycled media out of one of my tanks. Then I think he took like, I can't remember what it was, like 3 platies or something like that. Like it was like a very small amount of fish. Like he took no, it was honey gouramis. I think he took 3 honey gouramis. Took them home, got them in the tank, got, used to doing the water changes and that, and then came back like 2 weeks later and added a small group of platies, added some tetras, over the course of, I can't remember what it was, a couple of months maybe, added a few, every week or two would add a new group of fish, because that's how I would do it. Build the cycle up, not have to worry about, dosing stability and like doing, using the API like pH up, pH down, trying to use all this other junk that doesn't work, and it's hard for me to talk about this without it sounding very commercial and self-serving, but I do really believe this, and I kind of just want to talk about it in general. It doesn't necessarily have to be for you, like it is for you guys, but I don't want you to think I'm trying to sell you on the idea of the aquarium project, because it is what I believe, but a lot of that stuff is just like junk, like marketing, like, oh yeah, buy this and your tank will be fine. Here's spend $50 and it'll be sweet. But like, maybe, I can't remember, maybe it was like $5 for enough cycled media and then that's it. And like, I obviously I left money on the table. It's not like they bought millions of fish or anything that made me a ton of money, but in the long run, I think I'm winning in that. Obviously the fish need feeding and that, and if they're having success, they're going to enjoy the aquarium. And that for me, honestly, like him saying that, like, oh yeah, I've been keeping fish for however long, 6 to 9 months, somewhere in that range, we only just had our first death, and it wasn't like everything coming crashing down. It's like one of those random things, like I have no idea, maybe it was a bit older when he bought it and it's just killed over, or like maybe it's had a heart attack. Like we tested the water, everything's fine, like no other fish look injured or sick or anything. It's just like one of those things. And honestly, I can't express how happy that makes me, to see that this guy and his little boy have had so much success, like no stress, no dramas. The whole tank hasn't died 3 times trying to get it cycled and that. They wouldn't even, I'm sure, know what real, like, I don't know if they understand the cycle fully or anything, but they know to do a water change. They bring water every now and then and test it, and we adjust their water change routine. But they've had success on that kind of level where there's been no negative things for them in all that time. I'm getting a little bit, starting to well up and stuff, but in all that time, all they've had is the fun stuff. They've been able to feed the fish. They've been able to put different decorations they might want. They've been able to choose the names of the fish. Their platies have spawned a couple times. They've had all the good stuff and none of the bad stuff in this fantastic hobby that we all love so very much. And honestly, I can't describe how fulfilled that makes me feel. Wow, I didn't think this was going to be the video where I cried on the internet, so that's weird, but they did that, and it is incredible. I think that is, honestly, I could pack up now and I would be happy that I'd made a difference. And honestly, I can't express that enough, how happy that makes me feel. Like, my heart is just full. And I don't know, I'm aware, like, I obviously give all the same information to everyone. I got lots of these family type hobbyists, but I think that interaction was one of those ones where it got put right in front of me, and as an example of what we're doing here. And like, I talk a lot of smack and about stability, and like, I make jokes, and like, I don't take anything too seriously. But honestly, that is one of the, like, genuinely probably one of the most powerful moments of my life. Like, I I don't want this to be a pity fest, but like, I obviously gave up a lot to start the aquarium project when I was like, what, 20 years old. And that one interaction shows me that it was all worth it. And I don't know. It's just that is one of the most incredible things that has ever happened to me. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Maybe give a little bit of an insight into my soul. Check off crying on not TV, on the internet, on my list of things to do. But yeah, how fantastic is that? That's incredible. I can't believe it. Like, honestly, that's what, like, I don't even know what to say now. Like, wow is basically all I have to say. So yeah, I thought this was going to be a tiny little like snippet on Facebook, but I've been gone for like 10 minutes, so I'll probably put this on YouTube then. But thank you guys so much. Thank you all for the incredible support. I love you all so much, and I hope you all have fun and have success keeping your aquariums, because fish tanks make such a big difference in my life, and I know how important they are to people. So thank you very much. I love my job, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya.